worship his holy name. Sing like never before. Oh, my soul, I worship your holy name. And on that day when my strength is failing, the end draws near and my time has come. Still my soul will sing your praise. That's right, we will. 10,000 years and forevermore. 10,000 years and forevermore. Hallelujah! Hallelujah. All right, bless Yahweh. Bless Yahweh, oh my soul. Oh, my soul. Worship his holy name. Sing like never before. Oh, my soul, I worship your holy name. I will worship your holy name. I will worship your holy name. Bless Yahweh, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship his holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I worship your holy name. One more time. Bless Yahweh, oh my soul, oh my soul, worship your holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I worship your holy name. I will worship your holy name. I will worship your holy name. Hallelujah. Bless you, Yahweh.
He's worthy to be praised.
Sing. Do you want to do one more? We'll do one more?
Yeah, that's good. We got started. There's still rain in here.
Here we go. This is something my dad told me when we were praying for the van. And Gabe just said it, so it reminded me. And you guys sing along if you know it. Yah will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. He will be my guide. Hold me closely to his side. With love and care for each new day, he will make a way. Yah will make a way. He will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. He will be my guide. Hold me closely to his side. With love and care for each new day, he will make a way. Yah Him. Praise Yahweh in the morning. Praise Him in the evening. Praise Him. Praise Yahweh in the evening. Blue skies over troubled waters. Blue skies all over troubled waters. Love Him in the morning. Love Him, oh we do. Love Yahweh in the morning. Hero Israel we sing. Love Him. Love Yahweh in the evening. There's peace in the midst of adversity. He is there again. There's peace in the midst of adversity. No storm is too big. Glory, oh glory to your name. Holy, holy is Yahweh. Mighty, mighty is Yahweh. Mighty, mighty is Yahweh. And He is worthy of all praise. Oh, worthy, worthy of all praise. I sing because my heart knows He is there. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We bow down. Yeshua, yes, we bow down. We bow down. Yeshua, yes, we bow down. Kneel before your throne on high. Hallelujah. We kneel before your throne on high. Glory, oh glory to your name. He is holy, He is kadosh, holy, kadosh to Yahweh. And He is mighty, mighty is Yahweh. Mighty, mighty is Yahweh. And He is worthy of all praise. Worthy, worthy of all praise. Yeah. Hallelujah. All right, Hero Israel. Yahweh is Echad. Yahweh is one. Hero Israel. Yahweh, Yahweh is Echad. He is the one. Hero Israel. Yahweh, Yahweh is Echad. And you shall love Yah with all your heart and your soul and your mind. And you shall love Yah with all your heart and your soul and all your mind and mind. Glory, oh glory to your name. And He is holy, kadosh, holy, holy is Yahweh. He is mighty, He is strong, mighty, mighty is Yahweh. And He is worthy of all praise. Worthy, worthy of all praise. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we praise You now, righteous King of kings. Yes, we do. Oh, we praise You now, righteous King of kings. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father. Have a blessed day, everybody.
Yahweh rules. Always has. Always will. Okay, this morning, most of us woke up and we had some food for our bodies. And just now, we praised Yahweh, food for our soul. His word is truth. His word is spirit. We don't live by food alone. We live by every word that comes from the mouth of Elohim. Genesis to Revelation. Let's eat. Abba Yahweh, thank you for who you are and what you do, what you're doing, what you're going to do. We love you. Father, guide us in the reading and the hearing of this word. Let it accomplish what you purpose it to do in our hearts, mind, in our bodies. Thank you. Thank you for your word. Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 6. And this is the command, the laws and right rulings, which Yahweh your Elohim has commanded to teach you to do in the land which you are passing over to possess, so that you fear Yahweh your mighty one, to guard all his laws and his commands which I command you, and your son and your grandson, all the days of your life, and that your days be prolonged. And you shall hear, O Yisrael, and shall guard to do, that it might be well with you, and that you increase greatly, as Yahweh, Elohim of your fathers, has spoken to you, in a land flowing with milk and honey. Shamar, O Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh is one. And you shall love Yahweh, your mighty one, with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I am commanding you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them like a sign on your hand, and they shall be like frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. And it shall be, when Yahweh your mighty one brings you into the land of which he swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Jacob, to give you great and good cities which you did not build, and houses filled with all kinds of goods which you did not fill, and wells dug which you did not dig, vineyards and olive trees which you did not plant, and you shall eat and be satisfied. Be on guard, lest you forget Yahweh, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim from the house of bondage. Fear Yahweh your mighty one, and serve him, and swear by his name. Do not go after other mighty ones, the mighty ones of the peoples who are all around you. For Yahweh your mighty one is a jealous El in your midst, and the displeasure of Yahweh your mighty one will burn against you. Then he shall destroy you from the face of the earth. Do not try Yahweh your mighty one as you tried him in Massah. Diligently guard the commands of Yahweh your mighty one, and his witnesses, and his laws, which he has commanded you. And you shall do what is right and good in the eyes of Yahweh, that it might be well with you. And you shall go in and possess the good land which Yahweh swore to your fathers, to drive out all your enemies from before you, as he has spoken, as Yahweh has spoken. When your son asks you in time coming, saying, what is the meaning of the witnesses and the laws and the right rulings which Yahweh Eloheinu has commanded you? And you shall say to your son, we were slaves of Pharaoh in Mitzrayim, and Yahweh brought us out of Mitzrayim with a strong hand. And Yahweh sent signs and wonders, great and grievous, upon Mitzrayim, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household before our eyes. And he brought us out from there to bring us in, to give us the land of which he swore to our fathers. And Yahweh commanded us to do all these laws, to fear Yahweh Eloheinu for our good always, to keep us alive as it is today. And it is righteousness for us when we guard to do all this command before Yahweh Eloheinu as he has commanded us. Chapter 7. When Yahweh your mighty one brings you into the land which you go to possess, he shall also clear away many nations before you, the Hittite, and the Girgashi, and the Amori, and the Canaani, and the Perizi, and the Hiwi, and the Yebusi, 7 nations greater and stronger than you. And when Yahweh your mighty one gives them over to you, you shall strike them and put them under the ban completely. Make no covenant with them and show them no grace. And do not intermarry with them. You do not give your daughter to his son, and you do not take his daughter for your son, because he turns your sons away from following me to serve other mighty ones. Then the displeasure of Yahweh shall burn against you and promptly destroy you. But this is what you do to them. Break down their sacrifice places and smash their pillars and cut down their Easter and burn their carved images with fire. For you are a set-apart people to Yahweh your mighty one. Yahweh your mighty one has chosen you to be a people for himself, a treasured possession above all the peoples on the face of the earth. Yahweh did not set his love on you, nor choose you because you were more numerous than any other people, for you were the least of all peoples. But because of Yahweh loving you, and because of him guarding the oath which he swore to your fathers, Yahweh has brought you out with a strong hand and ransomed you from the house of bondage, from the hand of Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim. And you shall know that Yahweh your mighty one, he is Elohim, the trustworthy El, guarding covenant and loving commitment, chesed, for 1,000 generations with those who love him and those who guard his commands. But repaying those who hate him to their face, to destroy them, he does not delay to do with him who hates him. He repays him to his face. And you shall guard the command and the laws and the right rulings which I command you today to do them. And it shall be, because you hear these right rulings and shall guard and do them, that Yahweh your mighty one shall guard with you the covenant and the loving commitment, hesed, which he swore to your fathers, and shall love you and bless you and increase you, and shall bless the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your land, your grain and your new wine and your oil, the increase of your cattle and the offspring of your flocks, in the land which he swore to your fathers to give you. Blessed are you above all peoples. There is not going to be a barren man or a barren woman among you or among your livestock. And Yahweh shall turn away from you all sickness and put on you none of the evil diseases of Mitzrayim, which you have known. But he shall put them on all those who hate you. And you shall consume all the peoples whom Yahweh your mighty one is delivering over to you. Your eye shall not pardon them. And do not serve their mighty ones, for that is a snare to you. When you say in your heart, these nations are greater than I am unable to drive them out. Do not be afraid of them. Remember well what Yahweh your mighty one did to Pharaoh and to all Mitzrayim, the great trials which your eyes saw, and the signs and wonders, the strong hand and the outstretched arm, by which Yahweh your mighty one brought you out. Yahweh your mighty one does so to all the peoples of whom you are afraid. And Yahweh your mighty one also sends the hornet among them, until those who are left, who hide themselves from you, are destroyed. Do not be afraid of them, for Yahweh your mighty one, the great and awesome El, is in your midst. And Yahweh your mighty one shall drive out those nations before you, little by little. You are not allowed to destroy them all at once, lest the animals of the field become too numerous for you. But Yahweh your mighty one shall deliver them over to you, and destroy them with a great destruction, and they are consumed. And he shall give their rulers into your hand, and you shall destroy their name from under the skies. No one is going to be able to stand against you until you have destroyed them. The carved images of their mighty ones you are to burn with fire. Do not covet the silver or the gold that is on them, nor take it for yourselves, lest you be snared by it. For it is an abomination to Yahweh your mighty one. And do not bring an abomination into your house, lest you be accursed like it. And do not bring an abomination into your house, lest you be accursed like it. Utterly loathe it, and utterly hate it, for it is accursed. Chapter 8. Guard to do every command which I command you today, that you might live, and shall increase, and go in, and shall possess the land of which Yahweh swore to your fathers. And you shall remember that Yahweh your mighty one led you all the way these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble you, prove you, to know what is in your heart, whether you guard his commands or not. And he humbled you, and let you suffer hunger, and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, to make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of Yahweh. Your clothing did not wear out on you, nor did your foot swell these 40 years. Thus you shall know in your heart that as a man disciplines his son, so Yahweh your mighty one disciplines you. Therefore you shall guard the commands of Yahweh your mighty one, to walk in his ways and to fear him. For Yahweh your mighty one is bringing you into a good land, a land of streams of water, of fountains and springs that flow out of valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley, of vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of olive oil and honey, a land which you eat bread without scarcity, in which you do not lack at all, a land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills you dig copper. And you shall eat and be satisfied, and shall bless Yahweh your mighty one for the good land which he has given you. Be on guard, lest you forget Yahweh your mighty one by not guarding his commands and his right rulings and his laws, which I command you today, lest you eat and shall be satisfied, and build lovely houses, and shall dwell in them, and your herds and your flocks increase, and your silver and your gold are increased, and all that you have is increased, that your heart then becomes lifted up, and you forget Yahweh your mighty one, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, from the house of bondage. who led you through that great and awesome wilderness, fiery serpents and scorpions and thirst, where there was no water, who brought water for you out of the flinty rock, who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers did not know, in order to humble you and to test you, to do you good in the end. To do you good in the end. You then shall say in your heart, my power and my strength of hand have made for me this wealth. But you shall remember Yahweh, your mighty one, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth, in order to establish his covenant, which he swore to your fathers, as it is today. And it shall be, if you by any means forget Yahweh, your mighty one, and follow other mighty ones, and serve them, and bow yourself to them, I have warned you this day that you shall certainly perish. Like the nations which Yahweh is destroying before you, so you are to perish, because you did not obey the voice of Yahweh, your mighty one. Chapter 9. Shema, O Yisrael, you are passing over the Jordan today, to go in to dispossess nations greater and stronger than yourself, cities great and walled up to the skies. A people great and tall, the descendants of the Anakim, whom you know, and of whom you have heard it said, who does stand before the descendants of Anak? And you shall know today that Yahweh, your mighty one, is he who is passing over before you as a consuming fire. He does destroy them and subdue them before you. So you shall dispossess them and destroy them quickly, as Yahweh has said to you. Do not think in your heart, after Yahweh your mighty one has driven them out before you, saying, because of my righteousness, Yahweh has brought me in to possess this land. But it is because of the wrong of these nations that Yahweh is driving them out from before you. It is not because of your righteousness or the uprightness of your heart that you go in to possess their land, but because of the wrong of these nations that Yahweh your mighty one drives them out from before you, in order to establish the word which Yahweh swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Yaakov. And you shall know that Yahweh your mighty one is not giving you this good land to possess because of your righteousness, for you are a stiff-necked people. Remember, do not forget how you provoked to anger your mighty one in the desert, from the day that you came out of the land of Mitzrayim until you came to this place. You have been rebellious against Yahweh. Even in Horeb, you made Yahweh angry, so that Yahweh was enraged with you to destroy you. When I went up into the mountain to receive the tablets of stone, the tablets of the covenant which Yahweh made with you, then I stayed on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. I did not eat bread, nor did I drink water. Then Yahweh gave me the 2 tablets of stone, written with the finger of Elohim, and on them were all the words which Yahweh had spoken to you on the mountain, from the midst of the fire, in the day of the assembly. And it came to be, at the end of 40 days and 40 nights, that Yahweh gave me the 2 tablets of stone, the tablets of the covenant. Then Yahweh said to me, arise, go down quickly from here, for your people whom you brought out of Mitzrayim have acted corruptly. They have quickly turned aside from the way which I commanded them. They have made themselves a molded image. And Yahweh spoke to me, saying, I have seen this people, and see, they are a stiff-necked people. Leave me alone so that I destroy them and blot out their name from under the skies, and make of you a nation stronger and greater than they. So I turned and came down from the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire, and the 2 tablets of the covenant were in my 2 hands. And I looked, and I saw that you had sinned against Yahweh your mighty one, and had made for yourselves a molded calf. You had quickly turned aside from the way which Yahweh had commanded you, And I took the 2 tablets and threw them out of my 2 hands and broke them before your eyes. And I fell down before Yahweh, as at the first 40 days and 40 nights. I did not eat bread and I did not drink water, because of all your sins which you committed in doing evil in the eyes of Yahweh, to provoke him. For I was afraid of the displeasure and rage with which Yahweh was angry with you, to destroy you. But Yahweh listened to me that time one more, and Yahweh was very enraged with Aaron to destroy him. So I prayed for Aaron at that time also. And I took your sin, the calf which you had made, and burned it with fire, and crushed it, and ground it very small, until it was as fine as dust. And I threw its dust into the stream that came down from the mountain. And at Taberah, and at Massah, and at Kibrot Hata'awah, you made Yahweh angry. And Yahweh sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, go up and possess the land which I have given you. Then you rebelled against the mouth of Yahweh, your mighty one, and you neither trusted him nor listened to his voice. You have been rebellious against Yahweh from the day that I knew you. So I fell down before Yahweh the 40 days and 40 nights, for I fell down because Yahweh had said he would destroy you. And I prayed to Yahweh and said, O owner Yahweh, do not destroy your people and your inheritance, whom you have ransomed in your greatness, whom you have brought out of Mitzrayim with a strong hand. Remember your servants, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. Do not look on the stubbornness of this people, or on their wrong, or on their sin, lest the land from which you brought us should say, because Yahweh was not able to bring them to the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he has brought them out to kill them in the desert. But they are your people and your inheritance, whom you brought out by your great power and by your outstretched hand. Chapter 10. At that time Yahweh said to me, hew for yourself 2 tablets of stone like the first, and come up to Maon, the mountain, and you shall make yourself an ark of wood. Then I write on the tablets the words that were on the first tablets, which you broke, and you shall put them in the ark. So I made an ark of acacia wood, hewed 2 tablets of stone like the first, and went up the mountain with the 2 tablets in my hand. And he wrote on the tablets, according to the first writing, the 10 words, which Yahweh had spoken to you in the mountain from the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. Then Yahweh gave them to me, and I turned and came down from the mountain, and put the tablets in the ark which I had made, and they are there, as Yahweh commanded me. Now the children of Israel set out from the wells of Bnei Yaachan in Mosera. Aharon died there, and he was buried there, and Eleazar his son became priest in his place. From there they set out to Gugoda, and from Gugoda to Yotbatha, a land of rivers of water. At that time, Yahweh separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, to stand before Yahweh, to serve him, and to bless his name to this day. Therefore, Levi has no portion nor inheritance with his brothers. Yahweh is his inheritance, as Yahweh your mighty one promised him. And I stayed in the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights, and Yahweh heard me at that time also, and Yahweh chose not to destroy you. And Yahweh said to me, arise, go before the people to set out, and let them go in and possess the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. And now, Yisrael, what is Yahweh your mighty one asking of you? But to fear Yahweh your mighty one, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh your mighty one with all your heart and with all your soul, to guard the commands of Yahweh and his laws, which I command you today for your good. Look, the skies and the sky of skies belong to Yahweh, your mighty one. Also the earth with all that is in it. Yahweh delighted only in your fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, you above all peoples as it is today. And you shall circumcise the foreskin of your heart, and you shall circumcise the foreskin of your heart, and harden your stiff neck no more. For Yahweh, your mighty one, is mighty one of mighty ones, and owner of owners, the great El, mighty and awesome, who shows no partiality, nor takes a bribe. He executes right ruling for the fatherless and the widow, and loves the stranger, giving him food and clothing. And you shall love the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Mitzrayim. Fear Yahweh, your mighty one. Serve him and cling to him, and swear by his name. He is your praise, and he is your mighty one, who has done for you these great and awesome deeds which you have seen before, which your eyes have seen. Your fathers went down to Mitzrayim with 70 souls, and now Yahweh, your mighty one, has made you as numerous as the stars of the skies. The word of Elohim, the Torah. Hallelujah. Okay, coming up in a few minutes, Daughters of the Light. And let's see. If you haven't registered, tonight after the meeting, we have a meeting at 7:30. We have a meeting at 7:30, and after the meeting, if you haven't registered, you need to register. I can't find that note you gave me. All right. Here. You read it.
I love Joseph. Joseph from Arizona. He is bold. It's a bold brother, yes. So ladies, Daughters of the Light meeting, I think they are requesting that you all bring a pen. I think there's going to be some writing or something to go with that. Also, to all those who need welcome packets and name tags, tonight after the meeting, we're going to have a table set up. And Deborah, we're going to do our best to go ahead and get those packets out to all those who don't have one. And or if you need to register, then we're going to be doing that as well. So, yep. And also, if you have any items for the charity auction, you're more than welcome after the Daughters of the Light meeting this afternoon to go ahead and start bringing those items up here. We're going to try to make this in a way that it's not going to last all night long, hopefully. So we're going to have the items separated, and we're going to have some items like a silent auction that we'll have set out, and you can put bids on, and or put a piece of paper in a box, and then probably during the night of the auction, then we'll go ahead and announce the winners for those. The bigger items we're going to go ahead and do at the auction itself. So hopefully, that'll speed the process up. So that's all I have. Be looking to see everyone at the meeting tonight. So may Yahweh bless you and guide you, and enjoy the day, the beautiful, cool weather.